and we're going to talk about a little risque conversation. We're going to talk today about strapping up. So click like and click share because I promise you somebody is going to want to hear this. Not want to, but some people need to hear how to strap up. And today we're talking about the unspoken way to protect yourself. So I just recently moved, and well, it hasn't, well, I guess you could still say it's recently, but not too long ago I moved. And so I am meeting all of my new neighbors. I live in a very quiet community and I absolutely love it. So as I'm out and about, taking my kids back and forth to school and just moving things in and out, obviously I'm meeting my neighbors. And the neighbor, I have one neighbor who has this beautiful, like, garden. She has all kinds of vegetables and fruit and just floral arrangements. I'm just in awe because I'm like, I ain't doing that. Don't know how to do that. Don't have a desire to do that. But I can appreciate hers. And I'm going back and forth, and she's, hey, she wants to introduce herself, and I love it. I want to meet my neighbors. I want to have great rapport with them, and but I got things to do, right? And so, and maybe this is just me. So I'm talking, and she's just like, oh yeah, and she's telling me everything about the neighborhood and telling me about a garden, and I'm like, oh, that's wonderful, and I gotta go. And she's older than me, right? So, respect my elders. And I think there's a time and place for everything. But one of the things that popped up, and this was like, a few weeks back. So, one of the things that I realized is that it is imperative to protect myself. And I think maybe some other people may need to know this information because protection is something that as an adult we're responsible for, right? When you protect yourself, like I'm a mother, so my ultimate goal is to protect my children. I assume for most men, wasn't my situation, but I assume for most men, they believe in protecting their spouse and their children, right? But what about for yourself, right? Especially as women or as men. Like most men, you look at them and they're like, oh, they know how to protect themselves. Um, but for a woman, like it's how do I protect myself? Like what do I do to protect myself? And the situation that I'm talking about protecting myself in is me, like my visions, my goals, protecting the dreams and the admirations that you have for yourself is hugely important. And I think it's overrated with thinking that we can have this entrepreneurial lifestyle and we can just do whatever we want to. Yes, you can do whatever you want to. And the question is, what do you need to do to get what you need to get done? So, um, I was listening to Gary Vee. Shout out to Gary Vee. Um, and he was talking about how he was able to, get to where he was. And if you ever listen to Gary Vee, he doesn't talk about this overnight sensation. He had to work his butt off. He worked he worked for years. So note to self and to everyone else, like your success is never overnight. Like there may be one in a billion individuals who have the access to overnight fame. But what do you do with that? Anyway, that's a whole nother conversation. But it takes work and it takes time. And he said he was financially prepared. And when he was going through his beginning phases, he didn't have a whole lot of money, but he worked his butt off. And I think that's just a testament to every one of you, just to know that as we're going towards this thing called work and growing and building and doing what we say we want to do for our lives and for our families, it doesn't look good in the beginning. I tell my kids this all the time. The first time you do anything, you suck at it. You don't know what you're doing. You haven't did it for long enough to have this rhythm of complacency and knowing exactly what to do, knowing how to pivot when it's time to pivot, knowing how to look out for the potholes because you've already gone down the road. You don't know those things yet. That takes time. So I'm going back to the how do I protect myself? So there are three things that I've learned how to protect. And shout outs to Bright Star Church God in Christ, because I actually got this from Pastor Christopher Harris. So PCH, thank you so much for this. So there are three things that I learned to protect over the years, and that is my time, my talent, and my treasure, right? So when you protect your time, and that's kind of what came from the story with my neighbor. Like I have specific times that I'm running and doing things. And so, yes, I can stop for a quick conversation, but I cannot just completely indulge myself and throw my whole process off for an encounter, right? And I remember in the conversation being told, "Oh, you work from home?" I said, "Yeah, I work from home." And she said, "Oh, well, I'm trying to do this thing, and me and the other neighbor, we're gonna be bothering you all day." And in my mind, I'm like, "No, you're not." Because that's my time. And I'm not a stay-at-home person where I have this residual income coming in yet, right? And I don't even think that's in my stilo. Like I have residual income coming in, but I don't think I will ever like not have stuff to do. Just sit around and Netflix all day. Like that's just not even in my DNA. But I in that moment, my automatic defense mechanisms came in like I have to protect my time here because I am not just at home. I'm working from home. And I think that's the piece that many entrepreneurs tend to miss, right? Yes, you work from home, but the key name in that phrase is work. So working from home is the process of doing what you need to do to create that income. I think I'm gonna do a video on that because like protecting your time is extremely important because when you protect your time, you can get what you need to get done. When you protect your talent, right, in that time where you're getting things done, that's when you can actually utilize your talent. And when you're protecting your time and you're protecting your talent, you can ultimately protect your treasure. You don't go out spending your money on frivolous things. One of the things I got from Gary Vee's conversation is he was very protective of his treasure, right? He lived on a very shoestring budget. He did not go out and buy the Mercedes Benz and buy all these other things. Like he was very particular. And I'm a living witness. Like if you did not manage your money well, 10, 20, in your 20s and your 30s, or even in your 40s, it is not too late. Get on a budget plan. See what expenses you can cut out so that you can get back on track and start to protect your treasure. Start to save your money. I know that is an a forgotten trait. Like the reason why you can go back to your parents and you can go back to your grandparents for money is because they knew how to save, they knew how to invest, they knew how to stack up their money. And when an opportunity presented itself, they had the money, the cash on reserve in order to do that, right? So I encourage everyone to strap up and strap up in a powerful way where you learn how to protect your time, protect your talent, and protect your treasure. Because you never know when the right opportunity will come up that can help you 10x what you already have in place. I hope this information has served you as it has served me over the years. I want to say peace, bye-bye for now, and remember to make sure you have a great day on purpose.